All right, we got a lovely spring day here for an auction. There's nothing really here I want to buy, but it's right here in town, so I came just for shits and giggles. There's some sorry. There's some odds and ends on the trailers and the barns there and whatever equipment they got out here. They were supposed to, I heard rumors there's gonna be a white 4210 here, but apparently it never showed up because it's still sitting in the barn across the road at the farm it belongs to. Which is a good thing because I really kind of want that tractor. And with the whole pickup truck debacle we had a month ago, I really can't afford to buy another tractor, so I'm just glad I'm actually glad it didn't show up. I wonder how many foot that is. Yeah, this worked pretty. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, must be like 16 and a half foot. That'd go pretty good behind the Oliver disc. Just sucks and ain't got any wings. This Harrow, and this disc both came off of this farm, and they're like brand new. They have like virtually no acres. I only ran them for like a year, if that. Well, I know we use a disc, but I don't think that Harrow got used hardly at all. They're still painting the baskets. Those ought to bring a chunk of change. One, two, three, nice little 7 shank. White 1610 loader. Now this guy, I think those are supposed to go with that loader. This guy is supposed to be, and I don't know how the hell they would go to prove it, but this is supposed to be the last Oliver sold out of our dealer in town before he switched to white. He did a good job of taking pictures. It's a little rougher in person. Runs good. You don't see too many 1555s. They're kind of the orphan. PTO don't shut off. Does have the center link though. If I got a 1555, it'd be a diesel. The only thing that's neat about that one is, like I say, supposedly it came out of the dealership in town here, and it was supposedly the last one sold, but how they would ever prove it, I do not know. $7,600 TW30. This 2290 came off of this farm. This was his big tractor. This 4020 and this 4010 came off of this farm. This 4430 is a really nice tractor. This belonged to a friend of ours. Well, actually his dad. He's retiring from there's a nuclear plant over here on the lake. He's retiring out of there, and he didn't feel like farming anymore, so he's renting his ground out, selling all his equipment. My buddy Matt was kind of interested in this mower. I don't know if he's going to buy it or not. International plow, international disc. I wished I'd have known that nurse tank was going to be here. I probably would have not bought mine. But I bet this goes for more than what I got invested in mine too. Now this thing, not gonna lie, if this goes cheap, I might buy it, because this thing, that looks like it straddles 30s. Yeah, them tines got, oh shit, those might be set on wide rows. But I'd take this thing and turn it into an applicator. Liquid applicator. I'm kind of curious what that goes for. If that goes for cheap, as much as I don't need it. Williston no-till drill, case 5100. Must be a soybean special. It's got Packer wheels. Couple, these both 750s, or is this 750? Yeah, they're both 750s. 750s, and what are the other ones? 1550s, I think. Both look damn near identical. 7,000. This came off the same farm as that Deere down on the end. Same thing with this applicator. John Deere disc somebody turned into a homemade VT tool. That does not seem nearly heavy enough to do the job you want a VT tool to do. If you want a gravity wagon, we could set you up with a gravity wagon. Ditch bank mower, that'd be handy. Anytime I see a green gear with white wheels, I gotta poke at it. Now it's a new idea. See if it's an Oliver. Easy Flow seed wagon. Got another buddy's looking to buy this wagon because they use it for a funnel when they're combining at the farm, so they don't have to. So they set the wagon up at the auger, and then they just dump right into the wagon with the grain cart. Cause that wagon's the same size as the cart, but that wagon went with this farm, and this guy's selling out, so he's selling the wagon. Oh. Now this machine is a pile. as you can probably tell. The only thing it's got going for it is supposedly it's got a reman John Deere crate engine in it with like 1900 hours. And then this 7720 came off the same farm as that other Deere stuff, and it's nice. This one's a nice machine, straight. Hasn't had a whole lot of use in the last few years. Like I say, the guy worked in a nuke plant and he just didn't have a whole lot of time to farm. So for the last few years he's just been renting all the ground out. So that's a nice machine. Columbia City, Missouri. Huh, they were a white dealer, and Alice. That came a ways away from home. Tandem rake hitch, if you're into that sort of thing. 5-bar rake. I guess we'll sneak back up through here. One of these days I need to look at buying an auger, but I really need to get my bin set up so that I know what I need for an auger, because it doesn't really do you a whole lot of good, because no matter what auger you buy, until the bin's set up the way you want it, it's always going to be wrong. I was gonna say this ain't a bad little spreader until I looked at them Krause members. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's a bad spreader. Strom ripper set up to put on, I'm guessing, anhydrous. I think that auger, right, that second auger there, that might be long enough to reach into my bin, but I think all these other ones, that guy in the end, that might be, oh, that's a Cardinal though. I got a buddy, no, but it's at least a lowered. I've never seen an auger drive from the bottom. That's weird. But I got a buddy, my buddy Matt's got a Cardinal auger. What a pile of shit. Huh. Don't see very many international brush hogs. That old girl ain't that bad a shell. Gearbox is busted. That's a shame. Not that you couldn't find another gearbox, but it's got brand new tires on it. Huh. And then a John Deere and a liquid tank, and looks like an old, guessing Brillion mulcher. Man, it might be a, yeah, I'm thinking that's a Brillion. Well, this is sketch. Still got the milking stanchions in here. Back when this barn was built, this was a pretty big parlor.
Get over, give me 25. Now 25, a little bit 90, a little bit up, 5, 10, 10, a little bit up, a brand new, guys, a brand new block heater. What do you got, 25, 35? I got 25, 35. Come on, guys. Let's say a little bit up there, 35. I know 25, a little bit up there, 35. So, you're late taking $25. You're up. How we doing? Got it? Hey, you're buying all kinds of wrenches again. Four. It's a four. I get you moving on to 150. Right now 50. How about 7, 10? How about 10 to 4, 10, 15? Right now 15, right now 20, 15, 20. Put it up there, 15. I'm 15 right here. Now 20, now 30, Kenny, 40. Right now I'm up here, 30, 40. Right now 40, 50, 10. Now 60. Right now 9, 70, 70, 80, 80, up there, 70, 70, 90, 90, Kenny, now 100. Right now 1, yes or no, young man, now 1.
You look over there, there's tractor tires.
Unfortunately, the only way to save this place is to just push it in a pile and put her out of her misery.
New chain underneath it. Guys, get up and give me $25. I now 35. I now 35. I'm about a bit 25. A bit 35. All you guys driving these Toyotas or
that barn cleaner is cool, though.
Right behind you, 45. Where you at, 35? Good. The guy behind you in the American hat is out, 45. 55. I got 45.
I know the guy that lives here, so I don't feel too bad about walking around his barn.
65, 65, 55, 65. So, your way.
This is his old dryer.
Hey, we got 4.
She pretty schmucked.
Either one. Snap on and Mac. Guys, give me $50 choice. I want $50 choice 1. How about 10? Now 10, 20. Snap on or Mac. Now 30. I got your 10. 30, 40, 49, 10.
That's the limited edition Montgomery Ward special right there.
There was a fire on that. Huh?
Yeah, he parked that case and the 4010 stayed in here. Why, I don't know. It'd be safer outside, but
Started pushing on the wall there.
it's kind of a shame because I had a hay fork in it at one point. The track and the trolley are still there. There's still a lot of good wood in this barn. It's just a shame that it's turned into what it turned into. I don't even know if it'd be safe to take it down piece by piece. Alright, sorry I didn't really get any video of the actual auction. I tried, but the camera was being stupid because it was cold and there was all the people around. It was hard to get good video, and I did like for 2 minutes and quick. So it was just, I didn't like the way it was turning out, so. But I got same thing I did in the last video. I should have been able to go through and get prices on most of the equipment, which is what anybody cares about. And if you paid attention, you know the big shit I bought. And this is the small shit that I bought. Didn't really, well, this box, this is gonna come in handy. There's 90 flexi fingers in here, the bolt-on style, to replace the steel tines on the reel on the bean head. These things are, sorry, gentle fingers. They look exactly like flexi tines, but I counted them up and I lost count, but there's either 89 or 90 of them in there, which should be plenty to do that head. And Shoop right now new, they're not 100, they're $1.49 a piece. So there's $134 worth of flexi fingers in there I got for 10 bucks. Most of them are all brand new, or most of them are perfect. There's a couple in there, like that guy right there, that the end's clipped off. But there should be plenty in there to do the head and hopefully not have to use too many of the clipped off ones, to have some left over, because I can't remember. I think there's 11 tines per bat, maybe. Is that right? I can't remember. That one's got more per bat than the 525. But, and even if there's not enough, that's definitely going to give me a good start on getting it done. And then this little guy here, 8-horse Briggs, if I'm decoding the date code right, it was made May 27th of 1975. Rolls over, has compression. I did not check for spark or anything, but I mean, it's got excellent compression. Fuel tank's clean, carbs clean, or at least from what I can see in the air tube, the bottom of the carb's clean. Apparently they drain the fuel whenever they quit using it. Recoil start, pulley on its junk, but that's no big deal. It's got the bigger crank in it. Gave $5 for this. Do I need it for anything? Not really, but I don't know, the patina on it kind of struck my fancy, and I don't know, I kind of like these little old Briggs and Strattons. That little 3-horse I like, and if we can get this one running, I might probably find something to do with it. Dad suggested making a hydraulic, or well, he suggested making a like a PTO jack out of it for running the elevator and stuff like that. And I said, well, why don't you just take it, we could take it a step further and put a hydraulic pump on it and put a motor, or with a hydraulic motor with the capacity, with a flow control to run 540, or flip it over and have a couple of remotes in it. So if you ever need to move a piece of equipment with a pickup, you got a hydraulic power unit so you can raise and lower the implement or anything like that. But screw with it and get it running first anyhow. So I bought those, and then as I went in and settled up, and as I was walking out of the trailer, I was walking past one of the buildings, and there was another wagon in there, and people were just free-for-all grabbing stuff off of it, and one of my buddies said, yeah, this is the free trailer. So I was digging around in there, and found these 2 Chilton manuals. One's a 61 to 71 truck repair manual. Gasoline and diesel powered trucks are loading and carrying capacity from 1/2 to 2.5 ton. I think that's an international on the front. Possibly. And then 68 to 75 American cars. And then while I was flipping through there, I found this. This is kind of neat. It's a Louisville, Kentucky postcard, dated July 5th, 1949. And Dad looked at the name, and he didn't recognize the name, and he kind of really can't make out the much of the writing. But it says 4th of July, had a good something something, you're all I don't know, it's faded just enough, but it's got a cool stamp on it too. But I didn't even know that was in there. I just flipped the book open and that fell out of the page. I thought that was kind of neat. And then this came off the free trailer too. It's just a hand hatchet, but I guess it's a little bigger than a hatchet. It's an axe, but it's a short handled axe. But I don't know. Did I need it? No, but nobody else was picking it up. So I was like, well, shit, I ain't gonna let it go to waste. So if nothing else, I can just hang in the barn and look cool. So anyway, that's the small stuff, and then the big stuff will drag home when it's not raining. So anyhow, this stuff's gonna go over to my house, so Dad ain't got to trip over it. Put this down on the shelf with the other combine parts till it's time to work on the head. And then put the motor on the shelf, and these books I'll put in my filing cabinet. Kind of want to get a frame for that postcard because it's already got a tear in it, and want to make sure that it doesn't get tore up too bad. Although to frame it kind of sucks because then you can't see the date stamp on the back, so I don't know, figure something else to do with that. And then that axe I'll just hang up in the barn, and it can hang out for a while until I figure out what I want to do with it. At the very least, it's probably going to need rehandled because that handle is getting a little... You're definitely going to want to have gloves on if you're going to use it. And it's loose, so you're going to want to have a hard hat on too. Well, I guess you wouldn't have to worry so much as the other guy. But anyway, I guess that's it for this one, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Don't really know what the next one's going to be yet.